I woke up this morning with new wisdom on my mind. I know who I am. There's no need to hide. I got something to say. I'm thinking that it's time. Why? Cause I'm a young intellect. I'm a young intellect. I'm a young intellect. I'm a young intellect. Pay me my respect.
You are now tuned in to the Young Intellect podcast, an open space where opinions and experiences are welcomed. Hosted by Sam and Mafwa.
Greetings, people. This is your co-host Mafwa, back with you today to discuss exciting topic.
And I am your co-host Sam, just here trying something new. And I hope you having a wonderful day and time listening to us.
Back with another episode.
Yay, I hope you guys are excited for this one. It's different.
Yes. And I think we can jump right into this one because it deserves all the discussion time.
Honestly. So with the whole Will, Jada, and August fiasco, debacle that was going on in July, we thought it would be a great time to discuss relationships and its various complications. Sometimes relationships can get a little bit sticky and people end up in entanglements and stuff like that.
Yes. Relationships are hard. We're not saying that they're easy. This discussion's not saying that, it's easy if you do this. They're hard. But we started looking at it differently and we found some things. And I believe that some complications of relationships really start because of the structure and rules of monogamous relationships that we try to follow and fit ourselves into.
Mm-hmm. We aren't bashing or dismissing monogamy at all. Monogamy actually works for some people, but for other people it doesn't. So we are shining a light on non-monogamous relationships such as polyamorous or polygamy relationships.
And that's what this is about. It's not saying that you shouldn't be monogamous and polyamory and polygamy is the way forward. It was just saying that sometimes relationships don't work because we're all trying to fit into the structure that doesn't represent who we are. And the structure we're referring to is the structure of monogamous relationships. We're not bashing monogamous relationships. We're just saying that some people can love more than one person, and sometimes it's hard for them to be monogamous and they're fitting themselves into a monogamous structure that isn't for them, and in doing so it creates complications in relationships and sometimes cheating. And we're just really talking about polygamy and polyamory as an option to expressing who you are rather than try to fit into something that isn't you.
Yeah, because there's different ways to be in a relationship. You just have to find what's best for you and work with it. So my thought process or question I ask is who said that relationships should only be two people, and where did we get that information from?
We get it from TV. I would say TV is a big factor, and the media, where, it's especially fairy tales. As kids, we're shown that Prince Charming and Cinderella, it's just two people. It's supposed to be two people. It's never a woman with multiple husbands or a man with multiple wives or anything else. It was really just monogamy. So we think that's the only structure for us, especially because that's what the media shows. We don't give ourselves many more options, and the TV and fairy tales ingrain in our heads that monogamy is the only way forward.
From some of the research that I've done, it says that polygamy existed 10,000 years ago, and about 80% of the population was polyamorous or polygamous, whatever word you want to use for it. So I believe that it's the changing societal norms that actually contributed to people thinking that relationships only have to be with two people, because at the beginning of time, society was more polyamorous, and it moved to a more monogamous relationship type, I guess, to benefit the society that it developed into. And maybe the reason why some of that happened was because of diseases, and it was deemed it was safer to be in a monogamous relationship. And also the introduction of Christianity, I believe, contributed to society being more monogamous.
Well, since they've been able to trace back, and they've been able to trace back to 10,000 years, polygamy has been around for that long, and monogamy only came after Christianity Christianity came out. But even whilst Christianity was out, polygamy was still emphasized in society, and in the past 1,000 years, monogamy has become more predominant. But I think it's a product of the Western culture more than anything, because, you know, in other religions, they don't practice monogamy as strongly as they do in Christianity or in the Western world. Islam, they're huge on polygamy, and Africa's also started being influenced by the Western world. And I believe a reason why, like, it could be a small reason, but I believe a reason why we don't practice polygamy in this culture is because it was such a huge part of the African culture, and we are told that Africans did everything backwards. And like that's one reason why people are like, no, monogamy is the right way, because Africans were uncultured, they didn't know what they were doing, they were savages. But monogamy, this is the sophisticated way to be in a relationship. And as you said, society norms, like, people started changing as Western culture came in. They started changing societal norms, and they started imposing monogamy on people and saying that what people were doing, which was very natural, polygamy is very natural, they were saying that it was wrong.
Polygamy is very natural because most animals actually partake in polygamy in comparison to monogamy.
And I think it's kind of like it's also in our DNA, and I think we shouldn't even confuse like polygamy and monogamy in the animal kingdom too, or like try bring that over, because they don't know what that is. That's only a human thing. They just do what they want to do. If they want to be to one person, they are. But if they understand that they need to mate and they have urges and they want to be free, they are. It's not like they're polygamous and they're like, no, I'm polygamous, or monogamy. Is they are just who they are. And that's why we're not saying that polygamy is right or monogamy is right. Is that you have to do what is best for yourself, because that's what animals are doing too. So we shouldn't be like, monogamy is the right way or polygamy is the right way. It should be, who are you and what is right for you.
Exactly. And I do believe that people are naturally polyamorous without knowing it, because over a lifetime, a good majority of us kind of have like a good amount of partners. Like, if you really go back, like, we've had a good amount of partners, and then these partners have actually had different impacts in us, have actually taught us some stuff. Sometimes and especially when we date too, we date to gain experiences from different people. And sometimes we talk to several different people at a time. And like, I think that's a bit polyamorous without us knowing that it is polyamorous. We don't put a title in it. We're just saying we're just talking to people. We're free. We're just doing what we want to do. But like, in a way, if you look at it, it's under the umbrella of polyamorous.
Yes. And also, like, when you have a man or woman, I'm just going to give an example of a man who has multiple baby mothers, right? Like Future, he has multiple baby mothers. I'm not sure how many, but like, each kid lives with the mother, right? And I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but maybe he visits each family unit when they need to, and when he needs to handle things within them, and maybe he still sleeps with each baby mama at different times. But that is polygamy. But maybe not all of them were on the same note when they came into the relationship, like, oh yeah, this is a polygamous thing, but it kind of takes the form of polygamy and polyamory. Well, polyamory, because they're not married, but it takes that form. So we subconsciously assume these positions already. And women also, like, a woman could have had a baby with another man and then end up in another relationship with someone else, but that baby's father is still in their lives, and you know, they visit them, they still have a good relationship. That is a type of polyamory or polygamy, depends on the situation. And so it's like, we are polygamous or polyamorous without even knowing, to an extent. But it's not like intentional polyamory or polygamy, but we take on the structure unknowingly.
One of the other reasons that I believe that we're naturally polyamorous is because some people cheat in relationships. It's like, why do you have the urge to cheat if you are monogamy, if you claim to be a part of the monogamous relationship? Why do you feel the need to step out of your relationship? It's a natural urge that some people have to not be in a type of relationship that's so exclusive. So a lot of people sometimes delude themselves into thinking that they are monogamous, but in reality they are not monogamous. They are polyamorous because they want more than what is being offered in the relationships that they're in.
And when that happens, something that people never say is maybe there's something wrong with the structure of monogamy that I'm in, but they're like, maybe there's something wrong with me if I can't be monogamous. And that's not true, because you can love two different people at one time. And it's not even about loving. Polyamory or polygamy could be like allowing your partner to go on dates with people, and maybe not even just it doesn't have to be sexual. They don't have to be sexually involved with anyone else. It could just be conversation, or just getting to know someone, exploring yourself in different ways other than sexually with someone else. And that is a type of polygamy or polyamory. And people say no to polygamy and polyamory because they're scared of, like, oh, you might get an STD, but that's not what, if you guys say no sex with other people, if that's a rule, then that's allowed, but it doesn't mean you're exclusively for each other. It means that you guys can enjoy other people's company and do other things. It's polygamy or polyamory isn't just about sex. The people in the relationship get to make up the rules of how it works.
Yeah, I've actually like done some research, and like I've seen some video, and people are like, they have like their main partner that they engage in sexual intercourse with, but then they have other partners that they can seek emotional support, they can go out and have fun with, or someone to talk about their careers with. It's just different people that fulfills different parts of you that maybe your partner cannot fulfill in a way. It's not like a sexual thing.
One thing I did want to ask you is, what are your beliefs into why some monogamous relationships don't work? Why do you think monogamy doesn't work for some people?
I do believe that some people are naturally polygamous. And then, like, for me, some people in monogamous relationships are kind of selfish because they seek partners outside of the relationship but wouldn't want their partners to do so, or they don't even let their partners know that they have these urges and go behind their partner's back to cheat on them. And like they believe that they want to be in a monogamous relationship, but in reality they want to be in a polyamorous relationship without the title of it. And then the lies and deceit that they are lying and deceiving their partners into thinking that they are in an exclusive relationship.
So I totally agree. And part of being in a polygamous relationship is being honest with yourself, and therefore being able to be honest with your partner. Because the reason why monogamous relationships don't work is because sometimes we aren't monogamous, and you have these urges and feelings, but because society says no, that's wrong, you hide them. And as you say, you delude yourself and your partner, and then you step out of your relationship. But it's really normal to feel these ways, because like, it's not that you have to fit. Like, if you feel a certain type of way, maybe there's nothing wrong with you, but maybe there's something wrong with the way society is telling you how to feel. So as long as you're not harming anyone, like physically harming anyone or mentally manipulating them, it's okay to feel these ways. So if you are feeling these ways, you have to be able to be honest with yourself about what it is you're feeling, and understand what it is you're feeling, and be able to communicate that with your partner. It's not that they have to be okay with it, but as long as you're honest with yourself and your partner, that's what it is. And monogamy, like, because of the structure of monogamy and relationships in this society, people don't feel like they can be honest with their partner, because they feel like, maybe I'm wrong for feeling this way, maybe I can't feel this way because it's not the societal norm. So they hide within themselves, and they don't come out because they don't know how their partner might take it, or how they might be perceived in the public's eye. So they keep within themselves. And that's why monogamy sometimes is really hard, because it goes against the grain of who you are as a person.
And I do believe, like, if you're not being true to yourself, then like you're not being true in your relationships. That's what leads to all these conflicts and problems that people have in their relationships. Restraining yourself from like the wants and the needs and the urges that you have leads to a lot of conflicts within relationships. And then you have like some people start hating their partners, and then without the partners knowing sometimes, and then they actually start cheating or like get involved into entanglements like Jada did and stuff like that. It's not necessarily hating your partner, but like you're not really into them anymore, kind of.
Well, monogamy sometimes creates situations where you can't feel like you can be honest, as I was saying before, and then you hold all these things back and you start blaming your partner for like not being able to be who you are. So then that transmutes to you feeling some sort of way to your partner, and it kind of creates this situation where you're not being honest with yourself, as we were saying, and you're not being honest with your partner, and you just build resentment because you can't be who you are and you can't fulfill your natural urges because you don't know how it will come across.
Yeah, sometimes people feel trapped in monogamous relationships, and that leads to them stepping out in their relationships. And honestly, it's like, oh, like we're so restrained and we're like going along with what society is saying instead of us allowing ourselves to explore who we are within our partner or whatever partners that we decide to have.
I guess why I think monogamous relationships don't work for some people. Monogamy teaches people how to be possessive of people, and it kind of creates jealousy because when you are in a monogamous relationship, is that person for you? And if you do see them going out and expressing themselves in a way, you kind of feel like they're not reserving themselves for you and you want them to yourself, and you kind of trap them in your mind. Like you have this idea that they're all for you, and then you confine them to a space. And like sometimes they have to ask themselves, like in a monogamous relationship, you're like, can I even talk to this person like that? Is that cheating? And like you second guess your natural urges of even just trying to get to know someone who isn't your partner. And it doesn't have to be sexually or romantically. It could just be like having a conversation with them or going on a date to get to see who they are. And it might not have anything to do with like sexual urges or anything. And it really has you denying yourself of human interaction with people, just getting to know people. And it creates that possessiveness, like, oh, I can't do this, my partner can't do this, so you guys are trapped within yourselves and can't do certain things. And it's really kind of toxic. And polygamy kind of opens the space for you to go out and fulfill these natural urges, and maybe without being sexual with other people.
Piggybacking off of what you were saying about jealousy and possessiveness, some people don't want their partners to be friends with the opposite sex because they feel like their partners might actually cheat on them with the oppositeness, or they might develop a bond that leads to them being in a relationship and that partner leaving them. So in terms that create insecurities within that relationship, and that's honestly, insecurities is something that can actually make relationships fall apart.
Yeah, and you said it like you hit the nail on the head, because sometimes they're like, no, you can't be friends with this guy, and literally all it is a friendship. And it and as we were saying, monogamy creates this possessiveness that can be very harmful and not allow your partner to express who they are, in terms of even just having a conversation with someone and being able to like converse with someone in a certain way about this certain aspect. And then they feel trapped, and then that creates situations where they start resenting their partner, and they're like, oh, they don't let me do this, and then they might go behind their partner's back and cheat. That's why monogamy sometimes is very hard, because it can create that field of jealousy and possessiveness that makes people feel trapped in a relationship.
Another thing that contributes to monogamous relationships not working is the unrealistic expectations that some people have. Like, you might not find everything that you want in one specific person. You might have to have like different types of people that contributes to something that you want from each of them.
Yes, it's highly, highly unlikely that all your desires that you want in a partner is going to be found in one person. And if it happens, you're lucky. So like when your partner doesn't have something that you want, you start kind of wanting them to be that thing and forcing them to be that thing in a way, like, oh, maybe you should dress more like this, and then you start taking them out of their comfort zone, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it can be a thing where you're projecting on your partner.
And I believe that monogamy is not for someone if they enjoy multiple people's company. Like you like to be free and explore different individuals and like their personality, and you enjoy actually these people contributing to your life and making you learn things about yourself that you did not know. And if you like sharing and you are a jealous person, polygamy is something that's for you. And if you enjoy your independence and you don't want to feel like you're losing yourself within a relationship, because sometimes when people are in monogamous relationships, it's always like we think synonymously. In a way, it's like it's always like one person thinking it's like we're one and the same. I guess that's something that the Bible kind of preached to. We're one and the same. And but sometimes that doesn't work for some people. Sometimes people don't want to feel like they're one and the same. They want to feel like I'm with this person, but also want to actually be who I am, who I naturally am. Yeah, let's be honest. Sometimes like relationships don't work out for whatever reasons it don't work out. But like this person might not be in your life forever. And for you to like merge so much with them, it's gonna be so much harder for you to let them go when you have to let them go in a way.
Yeah, but monogamous relationships kind of create an over reliance or an over dependence on your partner. Like people are like, oh, if my partner leaves me, I won't be able to survive. They're everything I need, they're everything I have. And that is really dangerous because you came into this world without them, and then you became over reliant on them, like they're now who you live for. And that's like, it can be beautiful, but it's more so dangerous when you put that in someone. And instead of seeing it as we're here right now and we're sharing this, it's not that they are mine, but you know, this is them and they're sharing that with me. And if it was to go, they will no longer be able to share that aspect of themselves with me. That's a healthier way to look at it, to be like, we're sharing this moment rather than this is my person. And being obsessive and over dependent, because it kind of takes away from who you are, and it kind of makes you crippled in a way, because like if they go away, you might start thinking that you're not able to do certain things that you actually are able to do.
Like you've said, you've lived some parts of your life without that person. So when they leave your life, you can survive without them. Like honestly, you can survive without them because you've lived most of your life without that person. Like when they weren't in your life, you were perfectly fine. So without them in your life, you can actually be okay, because like as time go by, like our wounds kind of heal over time in a way. So like yeah, like being with someone for a long time would definitely hurt. Like we're human beings, we get hurt. Like we like being with someone like for a good chunk of your life, it's gonna be hard sometimes to let them go. But at a specific time, we have to let people go. Like they say, if you love something, you have to set them free in a way. And I know it's like cheesy and stuff like that, but if you do love someone and that relationship is not like the best for you guys, you kind of have to let them go. It's gonna hurt a lot, but you know, as time goes by and you create that space for yourself, you should be able to heal.
Exactly. And one more reason why I did want to touch upon why monogamous relationships don't work sometimes, and this is specific within the Black community. Dr. Umar, I believe that's how it's pronounced, was I was watching this video, and he was saying that, you know, it's also dependent on the ratio of women to men in society. And within the Black community, there are a lot more women than men. And some of it is to do with mass incarceration and well, it's to do with an agenda to get rid of Black men, because there is an agenda to get rid of Black men, and mass incarceration is one of these ways. So we have women competing over the same man's attention. And he was talking about, he's a therapist, and he comes across all types of situations where, you know, a mother will sleep with their daughter's husband, or a daughter will sleep with their mother's husband, a sister will sleep with their sister's husband, a cousin will do the same thing. And it's because the lack of Black male availability in the Black community. So Black women are kind of competing for these men's attention, and it might not come across as that at first. It might just be like, she's trifling and she slept with my man, but really it's the fact that there are not enough black men for black women to go around. And I'm not trying to say that every black woman wants a black man, because that is untrue, or every black man wants a black woman. But when there is a ratio of men to women, like there is in the black community, we start seeing these situations pop up. And what previous societies did was that they based their relationships based off of the ratio of women to men in society. It wasn't just one man, one woman, because when you have too many women, it can't be one man, one woman, because some women won't get married. And this isn't specific to this society where not all women want to get married and then you're having same-sex marriages. It's not specific to this society. It's specific to other societies. What they did, they would cater marriages around their population and the ratio of women to men. So yeah, if there were more women, there will be relationships where a man can have multiple wives. But if there were more men, there'll be relationships where women can have multiple husbands. So they catered it to society, and we don't pay attention to the factors that aren't just like from you and me, like, oh, not us feeling fulfilled in the relationships. We don't also pay attention to the ratio of men to women in society, which if there's an imbalance, I'm not saying there is one now, but if there is an imbalance, monogamy doesn't really work.
So I wanted to touch upon entanglement briefly, because we kind of talked about it in the beginning, but didn't really go into it much. So an entanglement is like a romantic or sexual relationship between two people that are not necessarily married to each other. And it's basically like a love affair. So what contributes to an entanglement is basically some of the stuff that we were talking about in monogamous relationships that didn't work. So not being fulfilled in your relationships, which I think that's what Jada felt like. She felt like she needed more. She wanted to feel good in her relationship. And it's basically being tired of your partner. Sometimes you might not like your partner anymore, or you might not love them as much as you did the first time.
I think it's important to understand that sometimes when you are getting tired of your relationship, it's not that you don't actually love that person anymore. It's just that you need something else. So sometimes it is healthy. Sometimes the best thing for a relationship is not stepping out with your partner, not knowing, but with your partner's consent, having another partner that can fulfill certain desires or needs of yours, and then coming back and like understanding how much you do love your partner. Because at the end of the day, it's not that if you want to be with someone else, it means that you don't love your partner anymore. It just means that you do need something else. And it's not like, I don't know 100%, but I don't think that Jada does not love Will. It's probably like she needed something else because she didn't feel like she had everything she needed or wanted from that relationship. As she said, she wanted to feel good again. So sometimes it does take you having another partner and being with someone else to really appreciate who you are with. And we can be like, why though? We don't have to know why. We just have to know that that is the case.
And what Martha said is like, it has to be your main partner has to actually know, or whoever you're with has to actually know that you're seeing other people. You cannot just go out and see other people and they don't know. That's actually cheating. To be honest, that's not being like open or in a polyamorous relationship.
Exactly.
So do you believe it's time to change the rules of relationships that we follow? Because 50% of marriages in the US end in divorce, and 42% of marriages in the UK end in divorce. It's not necessarily because of like cheating and stuff, or the structure of relationship. There's other aspects, but one of the aspects for it is the structure of relationships.
Well, I think it's time to not hold people to the standard of monogamy, because we have proven time and time again it's hard for people to be monogamous, and we have to start basing relationships off of who we are rather than trying to fit into this structure of relationships. And also, time and time again we hear young people who aren't married, they're like, I'm scared to get married because I don't want to go through this. I don't want to get cheated on. And it's like, it doesn't have to be that. So we need to stop holding people to the standard and let them figure how it should function for them as individuals. Because like, it doesn't have to be cheating if you and your partner says it's not, So like we need to stop trying to follow rules of relationships and build our own for ourselves, because because it's damaging. People don't want to get into relationships anymore because they're scared of going through these like hurt. They're scared of being hurt, and the only reason why they're scared of being hurt is because they're told monogamy is the only way to relationship.
And I can kind of relate to what you were saying about being afraid to get married and stuff like that. When I was younger, I honestly did not want to be married. It was half of it was probably influenced by like the fact that I didn't really know a lot of people around me that were married, but some parts of it was because I told myself this. I was like, I'd rather not break a promise, because promises are very important to me. I'd rather not break a promise that I made with God and with my partner than to break a promise and get divorced because I was cheated on. So I wanted to talk about or touch upon different types of polyamorous or polygamous relationships. So most people think, when they think about polygamy or polyamorous relationships, they think about one man and multiple wives. But there's different terms for that. So it's not always one man with multiple wives, which is actually called polygamy. It's also can be one woman and multiple husbands, which is called polyandry. And some people are in polyamorous relationships, which honestly, polyamorous relationships is not a relationship that you're not married. It's just you have multiple partners.
Yeah, I kind of want to interject there. Polygamy is exclusive, like exclusively related to marriage. But polyamorous is just like that. It's not marriage, but you know, you could have a girlfriend and a boyfriend, or a boyfriend. Well, yeah, you could have it. You're just not married.
Yeah, you can have 2 boyfriends, you can have 5 or 2 girlfriends or whatever you want, to be honest. It's your relationship.
Yeah, it's just that marriage isn't tied to it in polyamorous, but polygamy means that it's a commitment, there's a contract, it's signed, stapled, marriage. Boom.
A polyamorous relationship can also be consisted, or polygamous relationship can also be consisted of group marriages where there's multiple wives and multiple husbands in the family, but everyone is of legal age.
Yeah, so there are different ways to be in a polygamous or polyamorous relationship. It doesn't have to be what your idea of a polygamous or polyamorous relationship is in your head. What we're trying to do is open up the floor or your mind to, like, it doesn't have to be you cheating or going behind your partner's back or denying your urges. You can really create a relationship that is suited for who you are, rather than what society tells you to be doing. So that was really the main thing of today's discussion. We just wanted to open it up.
You don't have to. You can be in other non-monogamous relationships like swinging or polyphidemy, which is basically more than 2 partners, but it's like a contract. Basically, yeah, they fall within each other. And polygamy, there's different types of polygamy that you can have. You can have like a primary partner and then be with other people. Both of y'all are together exclusively, but each one of y'all have like different partners outside of that relationship so y'all in. Or you can be in an egalitarian relationship, which means that there's no like central relationship. It's just everyone dates whoever they want to be with. Like, you just have to find what works for you, to be honest.
Don't try to do it because the movies told you to do it, or society told you to do it, or your parents told you to do it. Do it because it's what you know is right for you.
One last note, a relationship should be based on those that's within that relationship, not no outside factors. You should do what's best for the both of y'all, or how many of y'all is in that relationship, and not what society tells you to do. Well, thank you for joining us today on the Young Intellect podcast. We hope that you enjoyed the show, and tell a friend about us. Also, follow us on Instagram at Young Intellect Pod. Make sure you take care of yourself and your mind.
Cause I'm a young intellect. I'm a young intellect. I'm a young intellect.